folks, Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another awesome Legacy stream. Doing some different hours today because I'm involved in another Legacy event tonight. I'm in the Legacy Double Dash event. So for those of you in Eastern time zone like I am, at about 8 p.m. tonight, I'm going to be playing Death and Taxes, big air quotes there, versus Rich Shea, who I believe is on Blue-Red Delver, and I'm really looking forward to that match. But for now, we're going to be playing some Titan Stompy, also commonly referred to as Titanic Dryad. This is a deck that popped up maybe about a month ago now, and it's kind of built partially around Dryad of the Elysian Grove, which lets you play an additional land on each one of your turns, and your lands are every basic land type in addition to their other types. So this is a classic combo with Scapeshift, or sorry, not with Scapeshift, like a Scapeshift with Valakut the Molten Pinnacle. So once you have Dryad in play and all of your stuff are mountains, you can start lightning bolting things left and right. The big payoff card / finisher in this deck is Primeval Titan. Excuse me. Which you can cheat out early using Mox Diamond and Dryad. And once you get this sucker into play, potentially uncounterably, you go and you get either the Valakuts if you already have the Dryad, or you just get Field of the Dead and slowly grind your opponent down with it. There is also a Castle Garenbrig here, where you can spend 4 and tap this, so effectively 5 mana, to go and get 6 green mana, which lets you ramp to Primeval Titan. This is a deck that really grinds through fair decks pretty well. So a lot of our sideboard is dedicated to unfair things. So we see like Oof, Ooze, Leyline of the Void, as well as the Caracas, really, as things to help fight against the unfair stuff. But this one is perhaps like not pushed as far as it can in order to go and really beat up on the unfair stuff. I've seen some of the sideboards even more warped than just this. I've got about 2.5 hours for this stream, so I'm just going to go ahead and hop into a league and see how we do. Hey Bentley, welcome. Not metagamed D&D. We want Titan Stompy. No, not import. Submit. I've played 1 league so far in the new metagame. I played a league with Eldrazi because I got kind of bored today. I didn't have a lot to do as far as actual work is concerned. The students are starting assignments and I'm like waiting for them to get stuff back. So I had a very, very low-key day today. But I'll pay for that tomorrow by having a ton to do, I'm sure. Hey, welcome! My students are going and writing stories in Latin. They're choosing an ancient myth and they're trying to retell it in Latin. So it should be fun. Yeah, I have all of my lessons recorded through Wednesday of next week. So like I'm good to go for a little while. I try to stay 2 or 3 days ahead. I don't like getting too much further ahead than that, in case things need to change, and I need to be flexible, but you need to be a few days ahead. You have to have a buffer for when things go wrong. So, subs, if you're not already on there, there's a lot of sweet things going on behind the scenes on the Discord. We've brewed a monster that I am really looking forward to playing once I can get a hand on the Ikoria cards. Okay, is this hand good? This is turn 1 Forest, turn 2 Chalice, can't play turn 3 Dryad, because Vesuva is going to enter tapped. This hand is probably worse than it looks. Like, if we could... I can curve out if I play Dryad on turn 1, but then I expose myself to all sorts of bad things. I think I try to do something a little bit more broken than this. I'm now a Nymph Dryad. That's cool. This is probably a keep, and I probably dump this Abrupt Decay here. It's just utterly uncastable given this hand. Hand's a little tricky to play. In that, like, what land I lead on is very, very interesting. But my opponent's mulliganing to 5, so they just may be a combo deck. And I don't need to give quite as much thought as I wanted to it. I'm just going to lead on Ancient Tomb. If my opponent didn't mulligan to 5, I would spend a lot more time talking about this decision because it's actually very interesting. But since they did mulligan pretty aggressively, I'm going to assume that I'm not going to get wastelanded here. Ooh, humans! Humans! Yeah, so I really just want more lands here. Ask and you shall receive. Although this is not exactly the lands that I wanted, in all honesty. Because these lands aren't green, so they don't cast the Green Sun or the Primetime that are in my hand. Actually, I guess it's fine, right? Because now my land, like, as long as this sticks around, I get 1, 2, 3, 4 green colorless next turn. So I shouldn't, like, wasteland my opponent here. Like, just confirm, yep. Alright, yeah, so no wasteland our opponent. Produce a big boy next turn. Meddling Mage on, like, Primeval Titan or something like that would be a little rough. My Dryad laughs at your 3/3 human soldier. We have made a turn 3 Primeval Titan. We are a go. So I just get, like, double Valakut, right? So 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, let's murder it all. Yes. This is, like, brutal. It almost feels rude. How are you all doing today? Could have killed if you played Wasteland and Zenith for Arbor. Yeah. I should be more cognizant of that in the future. I was just clicking on stuff, if I'm being totally honest. I didn't do any math there. Okay, so we don't want Chalice of the Void, so we'll want to bring in at least some number of things to help fill those slots. I think most of the rest of our cards are pretty good. So Titania as a faster finisher is good. Oof for Vial is good. Rex Age for Vial is good. Ramunap for Wasteland-based shenanigans is fine. I don't think I actually want to play the Vraskas. Like, the Vraskas can answer Vial or any other creature. And that's cool and all, but it's slow and it uses our off color. The other thing I can consider doing is just, like, boarding out some lands. The Bojuka Bog in particular kind of does nothing. I think I'm good with this. Okay, what does our opening hand do? Our opening hand is interesting. So it produces a turn 1 Ramunap and ramps pretty heavily. Or alternatively, it casts a turn 1 Abrupt Decay, turn 2 Ramunap, and get guaranteed value out of it. I don't know if this hand is good enough without a payoff card. But I'm going to keep this one for science. Like, I think this is a mulligan, but I really want to keep it to find out. It's also just, like, absolutely adorable if we get a Wasteland. And we also get, like, infinite jump blockers via Dryad Arbor. Alright, so Mox Diamond discards that. Mox Diamond discards that. I'm just going to play the Ramunap to use my mana efficiently. There's a pretty good chance that I can decay and do something else next turn, maybe? Or otherwise I just decay a more valuable card. I don't want to decay this champion when I can put the ramming up in front of it unless my opponent plays double creature. Like, I like us in the long game. That's a creature that allows the champion to get in. That's fine. So that's a little bit awkward in that if I cast this, I don't decay in this turn cycle, but I think I just do that anyway. And this will just help us find a payoff card of some nature. A tireless tracker is fine, but Wasteland is super hot. Oh, Dismember on Ramunap after that choice is pretty brutal. But I think if you have Dismember, you're supposed to do it on your own turn, so I don't get access to these lands from my graveyard. Like, obviously it worked out for them, but I think most of the time it's correct to just, like, kill that thing when you can. Sarah List, thank you very much for following. Hope you're ready for some sweet legacy action. We're getting punched pretty hard now, but that's okay. Nice. So, like, super doesn't matter what I necessarily put these on. So I'm not going to telegraph Titania, I don't think. Just going to pass the turn, Abrupt Decay, Champion of the Parish in combat. Hope I don't get, like, Collector Oofed out of the sideboard or something like that. That would be one of the few things that would be, like, super, super spooky right now. Oh, it's the general! I'd probably have to kill him over the champion, I guess. Because otherwise, he can sack to kill Titania. Oh, that's weird. I take a huge chunk of damage this turn. If I let the champion hit me. I don't know that I can take 9 here. Well, I wouldn't be taking 9, I'd be taking 7. Yeah, I probably have to kill this, unfortunately. Land. 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 Yes! So do I want the chump blocker? So which way does it work when these leave play, right? Yeah. How did my wasteland end up in exile? Real talk, how did that happen? Like, I must be missing something. But I don't know how we X out that wasteland. Oh, right. Okay, there we go. Hey, Eddie, welcome. Thought your humans deck list you sent me was super sweet. Looking forward to trying out some of that. Yeah, Kudra seems really good. Yeah, I don't know. I was looking for Lava Brink adventurers for a good portion of the day, off and on. Like, I would do something for work and then like check in to see if any of the bots had them yet. The answer was no. Beginning of combat now? Yeah, okay, they figured it out. Or are they just gonna get rid of my Titania and then try to attack him? I guess they're thinking about Kudro's ability. And Exalted, maybe? I have a sweet brew that I shipped to the Discord today. Super excited. I'll probably play it next week. We'll see if it's good or see if it's trash, but people are excited about it. I don't know exactly what my opponent is thinking about now. Meddling Mage on Primeval Titan seems pretty reasonable. Yeah, we've scaled up, though. We've made things a little more ridiculous. I expect my Dryad Arbor goes here. Yeah, my Dryad Arbor is going. I wonder if what my opponent was thinking about was Ancient Ziggurat. So Ancient Ziggurat can't be used for Kudro's ability. I wonder if that's what was messing them up. A Valakut, you say? All right. So I guess I need to play this turn to play towards Green Sun Zenith for Primeval Titan next turn. The kind of funny thing about looking for Lava Brink Adventurer, or sorry, Lava Brink Venturer, is that like the card is going to be worth like 0.1 ticks or something like that, and I just can't get it for the life of me. Looking forward to playing with the Ikoria cards though. Saturday morning, I'm going to do a decklist discussion stream where I don't actually play matches. I just go and look at various deck lists that people have submitted to me or that like I've pulled from various places like Twitter and articles. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Instant speed graveyard hate with Kudro seems sweet. Like, that's going to do real things in matchups like Reanimator. The super awkward thing about this attack is that I can't double block it, because if I double block, my opponent loses 2 of their creatures, and then I'm kind of left with nothing. But I also don't really think that I can not block this, because not blocking it means I'm pretty darn close to dead. So this activation feels early to me. So they probably sack like the small champion of the parish over there and the noble hierarch to kill Titania. But I think they could do this after blocks if I try to double block. Alright, how do I win? Is it taking 6 and trying to leave this elemental for later? They can't necessarily activate Kudro to kill the elemental. I don't know what out I'm playing towards. It's not Ancient Tomb, though. What's a mountain? All I see are pentalands. Alright, I still think it's the same as before, where I don't necessarily want to bring in Nebraska. I could go Ensnaring Bridge and just plan on winning via Field of the Dead or Valakut. I think our hand did plenty of things. The Ramunap hand that we kept for science was probably okay. No, Ramunap Wasteland is insane against humans. Maybe let's not bog and bring in one Vraska. It's possible both of those is correct. I don't know. I just think the mana for them is clunky. The fact that the Dryad Arbor is in this hand is some serious crap. So this hand is effectively turn 1 Bayou, turn 2 Wasteland, turn 3 play Ramunap, Wasteland again. Like, if the Dryad Arbor is not in my hand, this hand is amazing. I still don't know that I'm supposed to throw this back. But it's super awkward. I think I'm going to throw it back. It's just a little clunky. Speaking of a little clunky, this is also a little clunky. I probably keep this one. Get to cast 2 Once Upon a Times on turn 1. That can't be bad. So we Mox Diamond, discard Cavern of Souls, play land Once Upon a Time, tap these Once Upon a Time again. And then the question is, what am I getting rid of? I think I get rid of Green Sun and use both Once Upon a Times to look for a threat, rather than keep Green Sun as a slower threat. Ooh. I don't love that I would be revealing that oof. I also don't love that the oof works poorly with the Mox Diamond that's in my hand. I think I'll take the Dryad with this one. So we'll go Mox Diamond, discard the Cavern of Souls, play land, and we can go ahead and pass here, and we'll Once Upon a Time at their end step. We're playing Titanic Dryad today. Alright. So we chose to get rid of the Collector Oof, and I don't regret that because of our own Mox Diamond. Just a touch awkward, though. Courser plus Dryad is super cool together. So I'm probably supposed to take that over the Wasteland. I think I just need cards that do stuff. And I think that qualifies. I recently played through Doom and Doom 2 for the sake of nostalgia, and that was a lot of fun. Games have aged very well. I am still going to take the opportunity to slow them down. Courser plus Dryad probably means that I get to do something cool every turn from here on out. Would 100% Green Sun for Oof if I draw one now. Let's get this in play. A Primeval Titan, that seems fine. We will work towards that. It awkwardly telegraphs to our opponent that we're going to draw that, so I'm going to set a stop on my upkeep in case my opponent has Meddling Mage. That way I can once upon a time past the Primeval Titan. So if our opponent has Meddling Mage off the Vial, they should do it in our draw step after I draw it to specifically play around the line that I've talked about. Interesting. Alright, do I actually want this Primeval Titan? Oh man, are they going to Meddling Mage? They're going to Meddling Mage? They're going to Tomic. Okay, do I want to draw this Primeval Titan now? I really want mana right now. But I want a Primeval Titan 100% at some point this game, as long as I don't get Meddling Maged. I think I'll still take it. So now we use this to find a land. Okay, what do I want as far as a land goes? I probably want the fetch land. I'll use it to fetch either forest or bayou, and then I can get another look at the top cards of my library. Vraska. I don't think I want that. Eliminating the Ether Vial is cool, but I think my plan is just like put this Primeval Titan in play and win the game. And I'd like to try to get some free lands off the top of my library. I already have a black with Mox Diamond, and I'm never going to need black. So I'm just going to get my other regular forest here and play around Wasteland in the short term. We haven't been very good at hitting lands off the top of our library. But that's okay. So this thing flies, so I can't block it. Goodbye. Well, when I ignore their first message, time them out the second time, and they still send it a third time, like, it doesn't get much clearer than that. Red Hot, thank you very much for your support, friend. I hope you are enjoying this. Let me tick the sub count up a little bit. Working towards the Sad Thalia emote, which I have gotten. It looks pretty cool. Ooh, a Mirroring Crusader at that. That's a pretty spicy inclusion. That's going to be very good against this deck. I definitely feel like I am at a disadvantage if I can't hit some lands off the top of my library in the next turn cycle. So I can't pump the brakes on this or this. Don't really want another Primeval Titan, unfortunately. I can do some disgusting things with running lands on top of my library, though. So I get 3 land drops a turn, and each land drop gains me some life. Again, just 3 lands in a row on top of library would be clutch. General Kudrow coming in here would be pretty brutal. I think it's happening. Ooh, a Recruiter. So now my opponent knows that I have 2 Primeval Titans, so they get to Recruiter for Meddling Mage, Primeval Titan. You don't force the cool one-liners. You just let them happen. The secret to being cool is not trying to be cool. You just be yourself, and if other people think you're cool, great. If they don't think you're cool, who cares? So I'm taking 6, 9, 13 damage. And I need to be at least at 3 life. I think I'm just dead next turn to this stuff. I don't know how I get out of this. I guess I have to chump here. Well, I guess I could, if I'm chumping, I double block here. And then I deal 4 to this and kill it in exchange for one of the Dryads. Yeah, that's fine. See, by not trying to just like say a cool one-liner, I said a cool one-liner. See how that works? It's in practice there. All right, top of the deck. Here we go. Let's go. That is not going to do it. I'm now going to die between these two. GG's. I think we were on the wrong end of variance that game, if I'm being completely honest. I think we win that one the vast majority of the time. Like, we hit a couple of lands, we play a Primeval Titan before the Meddling Mage comes down off the Imperial Recruiter. And then once we have Field of the Dead or Valakut in play, I think it's pretty easy. So we had the Bojuka Bog boarded out and 2 or 3 lands in play / graveyard. Yeah, we were getting multiple. Yeah, and like I took the lines that gave the most looks too. Like I took the Windswept Heath for multiple looks. I took the Once Upon a Timeline for the most looks. Emperor Smitty, you're not adding anything constructive to the chat. I'm gonna time you out. If you add something constructive, you can sit around and chat, but if you don't, I don't want you here. Oh, we're just playing against everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have Primeval Titan mana in hand. We're going to be looking for something to help us do something degenerate off of this. Our opponent also has the Once Upon a Time technology. Could be any number of things. This is... Alright, we're playing against Once Upon a Time, Eldrazi. Oh no. Opponent has a hyper-aggressive start, and I have 2 Ancient Tombs. Not the best. Oh god, there's more. Rude. Oh, no! I have a family. Do I cast spells this game? Unclear. I will. So with 8 power on the board on turn 1 and me having 2 Ancient Tombs and no way to ramp towards this Titan, I think rather than show my opponent any more cards, I'm just going to concede here. I think it's worth casting the Once Upon a Time, because if I find Dryad and I get to play multiple cards out, there's worlds where I get Field of the Dead out on turn 3, and then I can actually cast... Or, sorry, then I can actually, like, make an army that stops the Eldrazi. Alright, Chalice is obviously bad. Ensnaring Bridge is pretty good. Scavenging Ooze is probably okay. Titania, Tracker, Rex Sage, Ramunap are all good. Ramunap is like a slam dunk for Wasteland Recursion. I think I'm supposed to sub one Primeval Titan for one Titania to just have a slightly lower to the ground win condition. And I think I'm supposed to get rid of... actually, maybe I keep the extra fat. Jay, thank you very much for your support, friend. You are sub number 4 towards our Thalia emote. Yeah, I can't even be mad about that start. It was just impressive. I played Eldrazi earlier today. Okay, what are we doing? On turn 2, I can Green Sun for Ramunap Excavator and have Ramunap Excavator Wasteland. So turn 1... that's not true. I need another land to do that. Oh, I have another land because of the Green Sun. Okay, yeah, we keep this. Alright, let's remove that stop on my upkeep until I need it again. Alright. Let me just confirm that I don't have anything to bridge that I want. I do not. It's super weird that I have a 3 mana on turn 1 line, and I only actually want to use 1 mana of it. That's very unusual. But Tireless Tracker on turn 1 when I don't have a follow-up land is pretty bad. And Ramunap plus Wasteland on turn 2 is disgusting. So, like, I think the world where we lose this game is the world where my opponent goes Soul Land, Double Spirit Guy, Thought Not Seer on turn 1, take the Green Sun. And even then, we're not that bad off. Ooh. Fair. Opponent had the read that I needed 4 mana and took that line. I didn't board in my oof, right? I did not. Slightly awkward, but that's okay. We're representing Abrupt Decay here. So it's not the end of the world. No need to block with Dryad Arbor here. Alright, this takes my best play. But if I draw a land, we're still in really good shape. If I don't draw a land, though, things are officially awkward. Okay, I drew a land. So the goal is to assemble both Dryad and Ramunap. So the question is, which one do I play first in case a follow-up Thought-Knot-Seer takes the next one? I think I play Ramunap first. I have this Field of the Dead. So, like, Ramunap playing lands from my graveyard might work towards that being good at some point. We can take 4 a turn. And we didn't get Smashered, which is great. Okay, there's the follow-up Thought-Knot-Seer. Dryad Arbor may be on infinite chump block duty. We'll need to get another creature into the graveyard to grow ooze. Alright, there was a spirit guide there to make that happen. Alright, so how many other lands? I need 7 or more lands with different names. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3. This will be 4. How am I winning this game? I feel like the Wasteland ship has sailed. It's Primeval Titan. Primeval Titan gets me there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think this is the play this turn. How much damage can I take? And still win this game. I think I can take the 7 this turn, but next turn I'll need to be thinking about chump blocks / trading with Thought-Knot. The other thing I could do is just like 100% play towards Primeval Titan on the top as the top card of my library, but I think that's a touch loose. So the Dryad is an X4, whereas Ramunap is an X3. So just like for future matches, something I should be thinking about is, like, if I fetch the other one first, it blocks Matter Reshaper specifically better. It is an X4, right? I'm not crazy. Yeah. Ooh. Wasteland should... Oh. Yikes. Titania? I think I'm dead. I'm not going to do the math, but I think I'm dead. Oh no, I can't cast Titania because this is on Giant without putting this in. I guess that's fine, actually. So now their Wasteland turns into a 5/5 elemental for me. Oh, waste myself for a second elemental there. Ooh, that's a good line. So, like, say I wasteland my Ancient Tomb because, like, it's going to be, relatively speaking, shut off. Maybe that leaves me in a better position. Alright, let's figure this out. So, trade... Trade... Block... yeah, so I just don't have... So, like, I can stay alive, but at what cost? Yeah, I should have wastelanded myself. It's okay. I should just be more aggressive about banning people the first time and not giving them second chances. That's on me. Should also just make a few more mods. So I haven't gotten paired against someone playing one of the companion cards yet. You should also be a mod. You're around here now. Oh no, like, the amount that you get trolled and stuff goes up exponentially as you grow as a streamer. Like, this is nothing. So this hand does, like, nothing. We're gonna mulligan this one. Turn 2... No, turn 1 Dryad, excuse me. Yeah, this hand is great. I think I'm going to put back the forest. Oh yeah, it'll take about 48 hours, but like supply will be totally fine in a day or two. Samednogard? I don't know what my parsing of that should be in terms of order. Thank you very much for your support, friend. I know you've been around the channel for quite some time. Hey, that puts us at all of our subs we need towards our sub goal, so I'm super happy about that. So I think we go Mox Diamond into Days. Discard the Verdant Catacombs. And play this around Days. Then next turn we can get Uncounterable Dryad. There are a decent amount of people who just like don't like Arena as a client and who have been playing on Moto forever, and so they want to continue playing on Moto. Ooh. I don't think I'm supposed to Wasteland map. But I do think I am supposed to play the Wasteland and not expose the Cavern to another follow-up Wasteland. I just don't want to die to the Delver before I do things that matter. So, like, once this is in play, it can't be bolted. It could be Abrupt Decayed. But, like, I've already taken my opponent off of cantrips. And I don't super care about a lot of the 2-drops that they can play. We don't know yet. Sprite Dragons and no Pyros. Plus Thoughtseize, okay. I still think it's correct to not waste. We're just going to work towards casting this Primeval Titan. Chat coming in clutch. Oh, sorry. Alright, looks like our opponent is Rug Delver, and they fetched away a card that they didn't want. I don't think it's correct to double Wasteland them. Like, I win this game very easily if I resolve some big dumb thing. And every land that I keep works towards casting Primeval Titan, or works towards playing some of my other spells around Days. Oh, I totally agree. It feels so good to just, like, super Wasteland them. But if I had Wastelanded them, then I don't actually get to play this as a castable spell, right? For the number that I want, anyway. I think it's fine to expose this to Days. Oh, man. Do I have a Ramunap game 1? I do have a Ramunap game 1. We're going. So now I have another creature. Am I supposed to attack with this? No, if I attack with this, it's Delver block plus Bolt. I shouldn't do that. Or no, I don't need to play around Bolt because of Chalice. So in case anyone isn't aware why my opponent conceded, I get Wasteland you, Wasteland you, Wasteland you, and if they played another land, Wasteland you. All on the same turn. All of it. Alright, what do I want against them? Bridges are probably fine. Ooze is probably fine. The Excavator's good. Titania's good. Vraska is questionable. I don't really know about these Vraskas on the board, man. Alright, so I have to cut some stuff, and the question is, what do I cut? I feel like most of my cards are actually pretty good. Sorry, I meant in general. I meant in this matchup. I don't know about the Vraskas. Like, I understand why they're there. Like, the ability to double decay against some of these blue Oko decks or prison decks or something like that is pretty good. It just feels a little too slow and unprotected here. I legit don't know what to cut. I don't know which green cards are on, so I don't know how good Bojuka Bog is. To tapped land, which is slightly awkward. Maybe this is a time where I just go down on my Once Upon a Times to make room for the other stuff that I'm bringing in. Like, I don't super want to cut all four, but like, this is good, 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 this is good. So I'm going to do that and then figure out what's bad during this game and then sideboard accordingly. I have a low sample size as of right now, so I don't know that I can say. Man, with one colored mana source, I love this hand. But without the ability to cast these two Abrupt Decays in hand, this is a ship. This I will reluctantly keep, I think, and ship back the Primeval Titan. We get 2 attempts on a Chalice on 1, and we have a castable Abrupt Decay to answer a Delver. The question is, what do I do on turn 1? Yeah, and then there's hands like we had at the beginning of the stream where we just absolutely went ham on our opponent. And we did turn 2 Dryad into turn 3 Primeval Titan. It was disgusting. I think I'm just going to go for Chalice of the Void off Forest and Snow-Covered Forest. We have double Misty Rainforest. Misty Rainforest doesn't fetch a swamp. We also don't have a swamp. Alright, so my opponent has Goose, so I know that for the future, so the Bog is actually fine. Another Valakut, you say? We have Bayou, but we don't need to fetch Bayou yet. We don't want to expose ourselves to Wasteland. Like, we'll let them Wasteland a Valakut that we don't actually care about. So super importantly here, we want to make sure we get Forest and Snow-Covered Forest first, because they have different names for the Field of the Dead that we might come across later. Subbing for the bullshit. For my good bullshit, or to make up for the bad bullshit? Maybe it's a little bit of both. Either way, thank you very much for your support, friend. No. Submerge. Spicy. Submerge isn't super commonly played right now. Sad Thalia emote. Coming to a stream near you. Probably next week. I'll make myself a note to upload that in the morning. I also have a D&T article that's going to go live tomorrow morning. So I think it's correct to not play Chalice around Daze. And then let them Wasteland a Valakut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be 6. If I can throw a cantrip in the graveyard, it's 7, and then I have to start worrying. My thoughts on cat and taxes are in my head. Let's whack that concede button there. We're not gonna beat that plus the mongoose. So I spend a turn fetching Bayou, abrupt decaying that. I take 12 in process. Nope. Nope. So Spawn, I just got a deck list from either MTG Top 8 or MTG Goldfish. This was a recent 5.0 deck list, I think. So I don't have sophisticated thoughts on number of Moxen based on experience. Kind of want this Bog now that I know they're on the Mongoose plan. Demosian, thank you very much for following. Maybe something like Tireless Tracker's a touch slow. I can just go down to one of those so I can still have access to it off a Green Sun. The decays are definitely worse than I thought they were as well. So like they're still good against Delvers and Termagoyfs, but they're not going to hit Mongoose. Maybe I'm supposed to keep some number of Once Upon a Times when I'm on the play. I guess I could also get rid of like some tapped land, but whatever. Turn 1, Abrupt Decay. Turns 2 and 3 do nothing. Turn 4 have Titania for Dryad Arbor. Let's try for something with a little more upside. Yuck. Yuck. I probably need to play this as well. To play towards highest upside lines next turn for when I draw the land. So since we have so many critical 3-drops, we want to make this play this turn to have the possibility of ripping one of them off the top and playing it. So for example, ramming up Excavator off the top, it resolves WastelandU, is a disgusting line that we open up by getting the Dryad Arbor. And if we play the Dryad Arbor and it gets bolted, that means if we draw a land, we can ooze and eat in one turn, which is like not the worst. Submerge the Dryad Arbor. Alright, sure. I would like to do more of what I did in the first round, where all my cards resolved and I did degenerate things. I feel like that's what I'm missing right now. Alright. I'd say we are in the unfavored position. Yes, Dryad Arbor is wastelandable. Alright, it's not looking good for the home team. The good news is that I'm still at 20 life. And that's still a 1-1. So next turn I can possibly take 6 now? The tapped land is probably a little bit too slow. Force a will to boot. Alright, we're dead. Opponent like cantrips once, I take 6. They counter our next. Moving on. Alright, was not expecting results like this with this deck list. Yikes. Like, I definitely have made some little mistakes this league. I want to be very clear about that. but I've been on the wrong side of variance a decent amount. So like there was a situation where we had Courser plus Dryad or double Dryad, and we just like did not hit any lands on top. So like there's been some of that. But things have been feeling a touch clunky. Is this a keep without the second green to activate the castle? Probably not. It's so tempting though. I think I'm gonna ship this. I also don't have the black mana for Abrupt Decay. Yes. Turn 1, Snaky Boy. No guts, no galaxy. I don't feel like I need a whole galaxy. Like a couple of rooms and I feel pretty content. Although going outside and seeing people again would be kind of cool. Alright, real talk. Am I supposed to make this Ramming Up uncounterable? Since my opponent led on Polluted Delta, I just play Ancient Tomb Pass. If I get wastelanded by doing that, it's loose. It also means there's not a land in my graveyard to get back with the Ramu Nap. I might be overthinking it by not jamming this turn. Yeah, but the difference between what we're all doing in solitary confinement is that we still get to play Magic online. And they don't get to play Magic online in solitary confinement. I think they only get to play Arena. So, like, I understand their pain. Multiple snow-covered islands. Alright, let's draw a black source to Abrupt Decay the ever-loving crap out of that library. Nope. One, two, three, four. What do I get here? So the Dryad means that I can Abrupt Decay the Sylvan Library next turn. Oh, I've already used my Ramanap. That kind of answers that, then. Let's just take the Dryad. The Ramanap getting Cavern back for Primeval Titan and putting it on Giant was sick. I think I'm going to value getting this off the table pretty highly. We are indeed. All right, one bonus card this turn. Smells like Abrupt Decay on my Dryad. Still could be Abrupt Decay. I do not know what they're playing currently, but it's looking kind of like a bug control deck. All we've seen is snowlands. Could be anything. But some sort of bug mid-range to control deck featuring Oko is pretty likely at this point. Many of the Snowco lists have started playing Dead of Winter. I do. Oh man, Julian, thank you very much for the raid. I hope your stream went well. I know you're playing around with some Painter. I hope you found something to slot into those Blood Moon slots that you were pretty unshaky about. Ooh, Tundra as well. Hello everyone that's just tuning in from Julian's stream. I'm Phil Gallagher, I run Thraben University, and today we are playing with Titanic Dryad. We're up against some sort of Snowco deck, and we're looking to do some cool things. Cavernous Souls is probably our best find off Once Upon a Time, although I think I only have one in the main deck, so I can't actually find that. Oof. We are unfortunately 0-3 right now in this league. We've hit a bad string of variants, but deck has felt a little bit clunky. Although it's putting up a great amount of results on Magic Online. Really like that line from my opponent. Yep, that kept me off of Primeval Titan. No, its mana ability has been shut off this time around. It seems like at least some of the stuff was hotfixed, but that's weird because we didn't get a client-side update, so, or a download update, you know? So maybe I'm wrong about that. But I tried it with Chalice earlier too, and my Chalices worked properly. Mox Diamond! I miss you! Am I supposed to make this trade for their Astrolabe here? Probably. Any land, and I just try to resolve Primeval Titan and ignore Oko, or any land and I Abrupt Decay this. So just removing their 3/3 from the board so that I don't get pressured is probably fine. This attack's awkward if they just Ice Fang Coatl me though. I think I'm supposed to take a turn to decay rather than just jam Primetime if I draw the green/black source. That's a little unclear to me. It's unclear whether I should just try it for Primetime into Primetime and let the first one get Oko'd. I am very much expecting another Magic Online update very quickly. It seems like introducing a lot of the mutate stuff mucked with layer-based stuff. Okay, so now I do get to make the decision. Am I just jamming 2 Primeval Titans in a row and letting one get OHKO'd, or do I take a turn off to Abrupt Decay? I am under almost 0 pressure, so I believe it's correct to take a turn off to get rid of the OHKO, but I think it's very close. So for example, if they have another OHKO, the line that I take here really sucks. But if they don't have another OHKO, this is pretty high upside. This gives them one more draw towards Force of Will for one of these Primeval Titans. Yeah, I should check my deck list to see if I have another Cavern. I thought my Cavern was a one of. Oh no, I have 3. I was looking at another deck list that had 1, and then I didn't play that one. Yeah, so waiting one more turn to potentially have another look at Cavern is sick. Ooh, that's very good. That's very good when I don't have a creature in play and they have some food. Alright, now they have 1 card. Let's see if their 1 card is Force of Will. Please don't be Force of Will. Like, it's so sick if it's not Force of Will. Nice! 1, 2, 3, 4 different names right now. Alright, so what we're going to do here is get a Field of the Dead and a Cavern of Souls. So Cavern of Souls will go on Giant for the next Primeval Titan. That's okay. Field of the Dead should beat our opponent by itself. Do I get to do both? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. Oh, I don't get to do both. But I can get a Valakut this turn and then play the Dryad next turn. That'll be fine. One, two, three, four, 5, 6 different names. So Field of the Dead will begin triggering with these. It begins. Another thing that I could have gotten here is Bojuka Bog to play around top deck Snapcaster Mage. Because, like, Snapcaster for Dead of Winter buys a decent amount of time. But then I still have the Field of the Dead in place, so there's that. No, it's a Dryad now. They errated it as of just a couple of days ago. That was correct previously, though. In Uro. So, like, that's cool, but don't know that it's enough. Sorry, I have to get the cat.
Stop scratching. Stop it.
Swords to plowshares, you say. So I didn't last turn, but I should have enough mana for both of these this turn. I can also just try to present lethal. So it's 1, 2, 3 for Dryad, and then I still have at least 6. I can just get 2, like, Valakut and Bog and kill my opponent. But I should take my attack first, I guess. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. These uncounterable big scary cards are fun. Alright, so now that we're playing against like one of these Oko decks, these Vraskas are going to come in and be pretty good. This seems good. This seems good. Scavenging Ooze is probably okay. Ramonap is probably okay. Spoken like someone who plays 4 Cavern of Souls in his deck list and Vials. I'm really looking forward to playing with General Kudrow. Like, I'm stoked for that card. I have a Dealer's Choice stream in the queue, and maybe it'll be General Kudrow Humans. I think Chalice is the worst card in my deck right now. B. Bradshaw, 1026. Thank you very much for following. I hope you are enjoying the sweet legacy content. I will, Eddie. I figure, you know, the next 48 hours or so, there's probably going to be very few people actually like playing with the new cards, and then we're going to see this huge explosion. Maybe around the time of like the Legacy Challenge, and then we'll see a whole bunch this weekend. I think I'm going to submit as is. I'm thinking about the Ramonap that's in the sideboard, or like the Collector Oof. The Collector Oof shutting down Astrolabe is kind of cute, but like I also have these 2 Mox Diamonds, which I don't actually think are all that great. And maybe I should just be slightly more threat dense and board out the Mox Diamonds. Like, if I board out the Mox Diamonds, I can play an Oof and an Ooze and just have 2 more things that have to be answered at some point in the game. I think I like that. Tabernacle, thank you very much for following as well. Lots of new faces coming from Julian's channel today. I have Field of the Dead in the opener. I'll look at the rest of the cards here and then click the keep button. No, you don't really want lands that cycle and lose themselves because of the Field of the Dead. Field of the Dead is the endgame inevitability, and you don't want to lower your land count that's in play. The same is also true for Valakut to a lesser extent. I don't know that I actually want to cast this Once Upon a Time here. The thing that it could do is find me a soul land to play Tireless Tracker on turn 2. And I guess it informs my decision whether or not I play Field of the Dead tapped this turn. I'll do it. Yeah, I just need mana here. We're going to take the Bayou and play the tapped Field of the Dead. Unfortunately, playing the tapped Field of the Dead means that I can't rip a soul land and play Tracker on 2 or Dryad on 2. But I think that's fine. We're not looking to play a fast game here. I don't think I'm going to play Tracker on 3. I think I play Dryad on 3 to get an extra land drop out in case it gets like almost immediately Swords to Plowshare. I get guaranteed value out of it. But then that's also slightly awkward because Tireless Tracker is better when I make land drops. So, you know, there's stuff to think about here. Oof off the top. Let's get him. That's not oof. It's not oof at all. I believe we're 0-3 right now. We've had some rough beats so far this league. No, this time around, like we were casting all our spells. We're just not winning. Last time around, it was a train wreck league. Like we couldn't do anything. This time around, like I'm playing reasonable Magic. We're just happening not to get there. All right. So continuing the plan from before, I think I'm gonna play the Dryad here. Try to get a land drop out of it. Yeah, the red white prison league. I think that was yesterday. Was real bad, real bad. Like I think this deck is a solid tier 2 contender. But I think it's just not happening here. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5. So I can Primeval Titan either way. Let's Tracker this turn. Because I can Tracker, play a fetch, crack a clue. So opponent has Swords to Plowshares. So I already have all of these. So what do I want a second of? Probably just a basic for the off chance that my opponent has Abrupt Decay. And I will crack a clue now. So in a slight misstep from my opponent, I think they were supposed to wait until I crack my fetch land and then Swords to Plowshares in response. I end up with one less light if they do that. So I think I'm golden as long as my opponent doesn't have Force of Will. That was good. Uncounterable big boy. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be 6 and 7 as long as I get two different things. Or I just get Vasuva and copy it, and then get a Valakut. Let's do that, actually. That probably just sets me up better for the long game. Yeah, good deck building confirmed. So now our opponent has to answer our Primeval Titan. Do I block? I don't think I block. This is what Ikoria is about, right? It's just Godzillas fighting each other. So, like, I have Sexy Tree Godzilla, and they have Swamp Thing Godzilla, and we see what happens. Yeah, now they have to like make monster noises. I hear Uro make some sort of crazy like noise on Magic Online, where he's just like sucking up everything or something. It's old Craig. What percentage of my chat gets that reference? I wonder. I bet a decent proportion. I don't look at my demographics very often, but I imagine that most of my viewers are probably in like the mid-20s to early 30s demographic. Collector Reef does things. Let's try to play the Dryad in main phase 1, and then do some disgusting things with Primeval Titan upon attack. Crack Clue first. Why would I want to crack Clue first? I guess it plays towards lines where I draw another Primeval Titan. Alright, that's fair. Oh, before the oof. I don't know that I'm playing the oof this turn. But I'm fine with cracking the Clue early. Alright, so I have 6 for this. So Wooded Foothills will be 7th. Do we kill the Uro? I guess we try to kill the Uro. That would mean I would have to do the math about whether or not they're dead. I don't want to do that math. Mm-hmm. Does Uro still die if removed in response? No. Okay. That's fine. Oh, and I did... Oh, so fetching with the Field of the Dead triggers on the stack was definitely a misplay. I didn't get my zombies because of that. Alright, I learned something. That checks on resolution. Okay, so I just get some things that I don't have yet. Let's find a Bojuka Bog. And I don't know that I need another Valakut. Does the Misty still have a target? The Misty does not have a target? The Misty does not have a target, so I shouldn't get that. Let's get a castle. Or no, let's get a cavern. Name like Dryad. Since I have 3 more lands as follow-up, I'm okay with playing out another creature into a Dead of Winter. Oh, wow. Double keeping there. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I can chump block. The other thing I can do is quadruple block. Let them kill this and then just, like, continue the zombie horde normal ways. This means that I can't really kill them next turn without drawing a Dryad. But that's probably fine. Yeah, that is not going to do enough here. So that's 2 zombies. When I fetch, and somebody told me I still have a Bayou left. When I fetch for the Bayou, I get 2 more zombies. We'll see if opponent can make the Uro again this turn. I bogged and reduced their graveyard to almost nothing, but that doesn't mean much when opponent has library and can filter their draws. Yeah, it does some things. Totally happy with my opponent drawing like Astrolabes here, because that's something that doesn't contribute any cards to the graveyard for Uro purposes. Haha! That's pretty good. And I guess I should do this pre-combat as well, because I can draw an Abrupt Decay, get the food out of the way, and do a lot of things. This is counterable, though, and a lot of my last couple of plays have been uncounterable. I wouldn't be super surprised to see it not resolving. Do I still try to kill the Oko, or am I just going face? I guess the Oko's kind of annoying if I leave it there and it like threatens to take my tireless tracker, which is a problem. Let's hit the Oko. I don't want to wasteland my opponent to put more cards into their graveyard for Uro. I'm also starting to think that we're going to win this game via timeout. Because we're in game 2 and up a game, and our opponent has 5 minutes left on the clock and is in an unfavorable position. Snapcaster, Dead of Winter, clear it all out. That's fine. I have more where this came from. So that's going to put the Snapcaster back into the graveyard. So then there's not quite enough for Uro flashback yet. No, not quite enough, but we're getting close. Oh, screen's getting all sorts of wonky. Nice. That's also going to be uncounterable. So opponent can theoretically remove the Dryad in response to this, and then fizzle the 3 damage. Because they are no longer mountains. So now there's enough things in the graveyard where Uro can come back. Yeah, and like this is why people are playing this deck, right? Like this round is this deck doing what it's supposed to do, which is just give you infinite inevitability versus these Oko decks. And if your opponent can stay alive via Oko and Uro, like the matches go like this and they time themselves out. Our opponent is like not playing slowly either, right? Like they're not just like sitting there and like super tanking. They're taking their actions relatively quickly. Nice. Okay. Force of Will is fine. I will produce more zombies. And I don't think I attacked this turn. I'll just sit back on the zombies, probably quadruple block. I also could just jump and just go all in on the timing my opponent out plan. Like, Uro can't actually get in for damage probably ever. If I just do this. What do we get here? I guess another one of those and get a cavern and put the cavern on human for a tireless tracker. I don't think I play the Misty. I'll save that out in case of another Dead of Winter. And we'll ship everything at Oko. So my opponent doesn't have the basic land there. I think I'll just jump block that Uro. I don't need to remove it. 2, 4, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 damage incoming, plus Primeval Titan trigger. So we'll see if my opponent has like another Dead of Winter to find. We probably don't actually present lethal next turn because of food. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see. I honestly probably just like pass the turn and clock them out. Hold the lands for in case something goes wrong. Now the back to basics doesn't actually do much. It doesn't stop Field of the Dead. Opponent also has like 9 cards left in their deck. That doesn't do anything. That's just a shuffle. $18, $17. Nope, back to 19. GG's. No, it's grayed out, so it's working properly. Alright, I'm going to go check on the state of dinner and see if I can play another, or if it's about dinner time. Haha, dinner is running late. We can get in the last match of this league. Unless it's a long one like that, in which case I might concede. But I've got half an hour, so we're probably good. So only in match 1 did we just do like the absolute most degenerate things possible of turn 3 Primeval Titan. But that match definitely showed the power of this deck and why you would want to be playing it. Which we did not see in our middle 2 rounds, really. I'm a little worried about like combo matchups with this deck. So like you have Chalice and you have Leylines, but you don't have much else. And your Goldfish isn't actually that fast a lot of times. At least like in comparison to other like Cloud Posty type decks. I feel like there's a lot of kind of clunky draws where someone interacts with you and then you don't do much. Although maybe the combo decks aren't actually interacting with you, I don't know. I probably keep the multiple Once Upon a Time hand, even if it doesn't look innately broken. It gives us a good chance of a turn 1 Chalice. As our opponent just Eldraziing. Ramunap Excavator. Okay, we're playing the Mirror, in all likelihood. We could be playing against Maverick. Nope. Tropical Island and Ramunap Excavator. I guess we're playing against some sort of maybe Bant question mark Maverick deck. The Castle. Definitely Ancient Tomb. This Ancient Tomb probably deals me a lot this game. So the goal is Greenland, play Ancient Tomb, produce Primeval Titan on turn 3. So I need to play this tapped here. Or no, it has to be turn 4, because it also taps itself, not just 4 mana. Do I Chalice to play around things like Swords to Plowshares then if I'm going to get a turn off? Yes. Yeah, the like Uro Oko lands deck is also possible. And Taiga probably indicates that it is something of that nature. We can't really beat many things here. Like a Wasteland from our opponent, for example, is pretty brutal. Like, them getting a Wasteland is probably so brutal that I shouldn't even play around it. Like, I just concede to Wasteland lock. And thus I should get the value to have a better chance of taking that off the battlefield. Natural order! No outs? Can't Goldfish 20 damage in 2 turns? Damn. Alright. Wow. Just no rug. Wow, okay. 100% was not expecting that. Now we'll get Ensnaring Bridge as an out to that happening again. I definitely want my Ramen up. I definitely want my Scavenging Ooze. Maybes. So my opponent probably has Mana Dorks that Chalice can take out when I'm on the play. But I don't know that I actually want the Chalices in my deck. They're probably my worst cards. Yeah, maybe we're like trying to lean into our combo a little bit this game, becoming a little bit less interactive and hoping that we do our plan better than our opponent does. I would like to play first, yes. I have 0 acceleration with this hand. Like, I have the Dryad Valakut thing, which is cool, but not enough lands to take advantage of it. Let's mulligan and try to find something a little more degenerate. This is not degenerate, but I probably keep this. And we toss back the Primeval Titan since we have Titania instead. No, actually, we're planning on hiding behind Bridge. So we'll take the slower win condition. That can still win through Bridge. That's a little bit of a weird decision tree. I think I want to be Once Upon a Timing for Ancient Tomb to turn to Dryad, but I don't think I need to make that decision yet. So I'm just going to pass the turn. Like, we'll go to my draw step, we'll like see if we draw a soul land. If we don't draw a soul land, then I'll Once Upon a Time. We can wait a decent amount on Once Upon a Time. Like, it's not something that we have to cast before we need to. Here, because like there's a very good play if we hit a soul land, I do think we're supposed to crack it. We did not. I think I just want more lands then. Let's take the Wasteland and play that, I think. Playing the Misty bluffs Abrupt Decay instead. I could just green some for like an ooze here. But getting a Ramunap or something like that when I have one more land is pretty good. Let's ignore my black because this gives me black mana. I'm going to assume that my opponent has few counter spells. I don't know if that's a correct assumption or not. At least the Ice Fang doesn't have Death Touch yet. Missing these land drops when I have the Dryad is pretty rough. I did not have Death Touch. So a really cool thing that can happen is my opponent can exchange food for this, like play a land and then natural order this away. It'd be super cool. Okay. It was not the called shot this time. There's some great elks I have here. So I can bridge, but it's going to get Okoed. I can Green Sun for Dryad Arbor to ramp, but then I don't have anything to ramp to. We kind of want to use this at x equals 3. And I can only eat one thing this turn to grow ooze. All in all, pretty unfortunate. We also have a bunch of stuff stuck in our hand, so like the bridge doesn't actually do much yet. Bridge is not really fine. Like, if I draw not a land, then like playing another bridge actually doesn't progress my board at all. Man, that's so good. Thomas' deck seems better than my deck. Four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, alright. Half the chump. And then I'm just dead even if I draw a land. And do you have Valakut's in there? Do you get to bolt me to finish me? Yeah! Nice. Alright, that was brutal. Okay, thoughts on this deck list? I didn't particularly like it. We did some really cool things in exactly one match where we got the like Ancient Tomb, Dryad into Titan, like God Hand. And then the only other match we won, we sat behind Field of the Dead forever and just kind of hid. And it wasn't like the most interesting or compelling gameplay. GG's. Yeah. So I was talking to my chat and saying like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if they stole my creature and then natural ordered it away? And then you just played questing beasts instead, and that was still pretty good. 1-4 cat fit record. So I have another donation, and the next time around we're gonna try the blue version that has Uro instead. I think Uro is probably really good in this shell. It's just another thing that lets you like cheat in those extra lands. And as we saw in our match against POW 22, like Uro over time is like super obnoxious. Casey, if you want to ship me a deck list, like I would love to take a look at the full deck list. It was super cool. I think Uro in the shell again, just adding extra consistency is very strong. And I think you're going to create some of the same problems. So you're still going to be Burning Wish for Scape Shift is also present. Wow. I think you're still going to be a little soft to combo. And like the sideboard has some Trinispheres, oof, no Leylands this time around. But we're going to try some other things. So my goal is, after like playing this deck list, I'm going to put together a primer on what I think about like the Titanic Dryad shell. And Casey, I'll probably include your list in there as well and talk about it a little bit. Because someone put up a donation to see like another one, this deck in action a second time, and then for me to put together my thoughts on the deck list. So folks, I hope you enjoyed this one today. Later today, you can see me again. I will be on the Legacy Double Dash tonight on Schultz Cubed Twitter. Or sorry, not on his Twitter, on his Twitch. That's Timothy Schultz. And if you're curious about the event and you want to learn more, his Twitter feed is here. It'll be about 2.5 hours from now. So I'm match 1. So that should be about 8 p.m. Eastern time. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed. I'll make sure that we get our sad... Yes, I am on first. It's me versus Rich round 1. So it should be pretty cool. I'm going to turn you over to Arkin. Wonder what Arkin's playing today. Legacy is surely the answer. Rich Shea, the person that I did the guest stream with. So it should be a lot of fun. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn you over to Arkin and Have a great rest of the night, folks.